to fussy cut the squirrel. Some of these are hard to get in this little space. Trim. Hey, Mom. This might be cutting it kind of close on this one. We'll see. Hi, Sue. How are you? Yep. I'm doing okay. Just gonna get my flying geese done. Thanks. Hi, how are you? Ah, it's been crazy over here. We've been going outside a lot, and I've been doing a ton of long arming. I just did 2 quilts this weekend, with some more on their way. And I have to wrap up these blocks because the swap ends at the end of the month. I know these squirrels are kind of going downwards, but it kind of looks like they're kind of climbing around on a tree, so I think it works. But I'm just kind of playing around with fussy cutting these. I wanted to try and see if I could do the squirrels because I did the hedgehogs. I did another one of these really cute hedgehog ones with the yellow. You can tell I was running out. I did on one of them. Let's see, where's my other one? On this one, I kind of did every other on the cameos, and this one I was running out. But yeah. So I'm kind of playing around with fussy cutting these for my swap members. I did 2 quilts this weekend on the long arm. I've just been trying to get time in when I can, but it gets pretty crazy, and people are sending their quilts to me, which is great. Business is kind of picking up, and I've been having a lot of fun working on quilts and talking about quilts that are on their way with people, and it's been really great. Just a little bit crazy at sometimes. Been playing outside whenever we can. Louise got a sunburn today, so we didn't go back outside. We were gonna go back outside after naps today, but she was looking pretty red, and we had a pretty fun day. We played out with water balloons, and look at that little squirrel. Oh my gosh. This is so fun to fussy cut stuff. I really haven't played around with fussy cutting. She's really excited about the Christmas quilt. Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be really pretty. Let's see if I can get this guy on here. I probably don't have enough room. I'm gonna have to cut a new one. So each one that I don't want to waste, but what am I gonna do with this? I'm gonna send some of these like remnant scraps to my swap members instead of just like tossing them. I have some hedgehogs too, so I'm gonna just stick these in their envelope, probably with a label or something. They're all kind of just different sizes. As you know, Tula likes to do her cameos. Look at this one. He's just like, hey, where'd my body go? Hi, Becca. How are you? I'm so excited to drop those off tomorrow. It looks like I have 3 more hedgehogs on this one. I need 4 if I'm going to do them in the centers. So I might as well cut. Or me. You can send them to me. Oh my gosh. Look at these little hedgehogs, Becca. They're so cute. And right now, I'm not sure I love that I paired it with the Everglow. I should have paired it with like this purple instead. Or even the like fox fabric I was working with. I think would have, yeah, that would have looked really cool. I might have to do my next one with these two. But I've been just going for it on these. I have 7 more. So I've done 27 and counting of them. And they have to be mailed out by the end of the month. And so it's been a fun little project just to do here and there. And I've been playing with fussy cutting. I'm not a fussy cutter. I've never really gone into it. I love when people do it. I just was like, I will never be able to do that. And then the other day I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. Let's see if I can do it. I'm trying to pick out like the best way to cut this fabric. That's probably the hard part about fussy cutting that maybe I don't enjoy a lot, is like trying to figure out the most strategic way to cut the fabric for you to kind of maximize all of the things that you want to feature in your little fussy cut spot. And kind of the way she spaces it out, I know she is an English paper piecer, so this is probably perfect for hexies. But for these for these flying geese, it's kind of problematic. Enjoy your true crime, Mom. Good night. Hi, Terry. All right, we're going to cut this little guy out. And we are going to put him in a block. So, Becca, are you now a Tula fan? That's the question. Did that line work quilt pull you out of your Tula? You know, you just haven't experienced all that Tula has. I think that brought you out of the darkness. We're going to see you doing a whole bunch of Tula now. Okay. Okay, so I did learn you have to place this upside down. So, this is the squirrel. Hold on. He's like this. And we're going to put him like that, upside down. We have this, and I'm going to just kind of hover it over his head so that it fits in that triangle. So I'm going to try and get the most of him I can, like in the center part. We're going to call that good, and then we're going to sew it. Hi, Teresa. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope your husband's doing okay. Yes. How is baby Archie? Baby Archie is so good. So he rolled over for the first time, I mean, maybe 3 days ago, and now he's like rolling over all the time. And I called him Roly Pogie. Maybe we've been spending too much time outside. We've got a lot of roly polies over here, but now I call him Roly Pogie. So let's see if that if that sticks. But he is rolling all over the place. He's still so smiley. He likes his car seat now. He loves his car seat. He used to like scream and cry and cry and cry whenever he got in the car. But he is doing so much better with that now. But he's like so loved. He loves his big sisters and his brother. You can tell that he wants to do what they're doing so bad. Like, he just watches them and he's like, put me in, coach, let's go. So he's definitely taking everything in. He knows. And he can see even further. Like, when I go to the fridge to go get something and he's in the swing, he's like, hey, I see you. What you doing? I'm going to smile at you. He went in the pool for the first time the other day and he wore Addie's old swimsuit. It was the cutest thing ever. Let's see if I can find a picture of him. Smiling in his little swimsuit. Look at that little guy. He's just so cute. He's cuddling with Austin right now upstairs. I got him to sleep, and Austin is my accountability partner most of the time. He's like, hey, do you need to go get your flying geese done? And I'm like, I do. I really do. And the sun was still up, so I was like, okay, I'm going to go down there and get it done. I wasn't really planning on going live, but then I was like, well, why not? There's his little face. He's like, Mama. Mama. He was like right in the sun, so I had to move him out of there. Louise is using the potty now. Not like consistently, but enough to just celebrate and praise her. She definitely understands what's going on. It's just kind of on her terms, and this is like probably the first time that we have hands-off potty trained, and it's a lot less stressful than it's ever been, and it's pretty successful here and there. Addie is like super into Spider-Man and the Avengers and DC and all of that stuff, so he will not stop watching like all of the Spider-Man music videos. He's been really loving going outside. They all have. It's getting hotter though, as you all know. And I've got really fair-skinned babies. I feel like Zoe is the only one that tans out of them. And I think Louise kind of got the first ever sunburn. It's not bad, but if we would have gone back out today, it would have gotten even worse. So we're going to have to put some lotion on her, some aloe or something. Hi, Crystal. Do we think we can get all of the flying geese done tonight? After this one, I have 6 more. If I quit dilly-dallying and I just get down to it, I can speed sew these. But the fussy cut ones are just, you kind of have to slow down a little bit and make sure you get the portion that you want in it. It does look like it snowed. What? Huh. My father-in-law just texted and said, we're looking at this picture of the kids at the hospital when Archie was born. What is in the background outside that looks like snow? It might have been snow. It might have been snow. Heck, did it snow when we had Archie? That's weird. Okay. Let's trim this one and see. So I'm using a new mat. I kind of wanted to see how I liked it. I got it at Quilt Fest, and it is from Big Mat Rotary Cutting Surface. It's kind of a big name for a company, but It's a mat made out of different material. I think it's like PVC pipe or something. And you can scrape it and like get rid of the cut marks, and it never warps. And so we watched this demo, and this lady was literally cutting through like 10, I mean, she was taking a stack like this. I mean, maybe not this much, but she was like taking fabric and just throwing it down and doing her rotary cutter, and she was not missing a single cut. And so, you know what, I was like, I'll get a small one and I'll put it next to my machine and see how I like it. And it comes with it's called a big mat scraper, and you take it at like a 45-degree angle and you go to where you were cutting and you just kind of scrape it with the edge of that, and it heals those cuts. It's absolutely insane. Hi, Amy. You are never late, Crystal. You're never late to my videos because I kind of just pop in and out whenever the wind blows. I feel like there's no set schedule here. Look at these squirrels. Okay, I wish I would have like alternated these a little bit, because these guys would have been like more natural looking if it was like every other. They look like they're going down the tree, but it's okay. I'm trying, okay? Trying. I will say that acorn stuff is a definite game changer. I know some of you mentioned that you take your water pins and instead of buying the expensive acorn refills, you put starch in there or you dilute it. I would love to hear more of that. Amy, I know you, I feel like it was you who mentioned that you do that. What is your recipe? Because I don't know if I'll buy the refills. I feel like it goes really quick. I don't do a ton of FPP these days, so maybe it won't go that fast, but I've already refilled it once. Ta-da! Look at these little squirrels! Oh my gosh. I like that one. I wish I would have done a different fabric though. So we're going to do squirrels again, but we're going to pair it with this fox fabric. I think that's going to look really nice. This has just been such a fun swap because I can kind of go through my stash for the most part and pair stuff up and just see what I like. It's been really fun to see like how her colors really do coordinate with everything in different collections. So, I mean, I guess this is the same. This is both Tiny Beasts, but I've been using some of the Everglow and the Hexies. I'm not going to cut up my Everglow like the animals. I'm not going to do that. I'm saving those. I'm saving them. Okay. What do I want? Which ones do I want to put on here? See, this is why it's going to take me forever, because I have to figure out how I'm going to cut this stuff. Alright, this kind of makes more sense. So we're going to go like here. Part of this squirrel's head's getting cut off. Sorry, bud. We can always use this on like the edges of another one. We'll save that. Okay. And we're cutting. And we're cutting. I wonder when she designs it, she's probably mentioned this before, but since I'm not an English paper piecer, I probably didn't catch it. But I wonder what she sets her distances to, like how she spreads them out. What is that best suited for? Like what size hexie is that best suited for? Maybe like a 1-inch hexie? Isn't that like the standard size? I feel like you could get all of these without missing out. Alrighty. This first one, this is going to be a fun one. We are going to try and alternate the squirrels this time. And it's kind of different because you have to figure out where to cut it. Oh, that's good. That's good right there. Of course, I'm going to have to move it to glue it, but maybe we'll bend it. Okay. This one's going to be perfect. Beth, I'm watching TV with hubby at the moment. Will you enjoy your TV hubby time? I'm sure Austin... I mean, I was upstairs watching TV. I was watching The Impractical Jokers, having a laugh. And Austin came up and he was like, are you going to go do your geese? I kind of give him my work list because I know he's going to keep me accountable. I'm always like, okay, I've got this and this and this and this to do. And for the most part, he's really good at saying, okay, are you going to go down and do that? Where did my card go? Dang it. Oh, there it is. Nope. Where did my card go? Probably fell out somewhere. Pokemon card. We're going to use this one. Okay. Good thing I always have a ton of cards. Let's see if I can move you a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm not really good at the technology. I was watching Becca's live the other night and that new overhead shot. All of the shots I have just like my laptop. And I'm like, hello guys. Just sit there and watch me talk. You're here for sewing, but yeah, that would be really cool to get some better angles so you can actually see the sewing, but no one's ever complained, so I'm just gonna roll with it. Hi, Linda. Yeah, so I did record Quilt Festival. I did record it. I did get my laptop out the other day and tried to edit a little bit and get a video going. And then chaos ensued. I had to put the laptop away. And as my laptop was sitting there, Louise came by and pulled my hard drive out of the computer. And oh my gosh, you know, I was like, well, this is the universe telling me I don't need to be editing a video right now. So I do have Quilt Festival stuff. But it's just, you know, it's so hard to do all the things. So, if you still want to see it, maybe one day you will. But, yeah. I'm going to try and get it out. But, we'll see. No promises. Cut these down. This is such pretty fabric. Ugh, I just love it. Love will keep us together. Alrighty. I am kind of getting in the new groove of doing the acorn thing before ironing. As you can see, I'm like going to go iron and then I'm like mentally, stop, gotta do the acorn. It does make a difference in the seams. Especially once you take the paper out. Oh my gosh, it's so crisp and secure. Okay, that is a perfect little squirrel in that first one. Look at him. He's so happy. Just hanging in this tree. Okay, let's hope that the other squirrels look okay. But yeah, I have a video. It's got footage of the quilts that I really liked. It's got some footage of me talking about the stuff that I bought. I tried to be responsible and not buy too much, but you know, stuff happens. I'm not proud of it. I did get a shirt that I wore the other day. I will probably never be able to wear it on here, but it says stitch, rhyme that word. I just thought it was so funny. I was like, I'm gonna need that, even though I'm never gonna be able to wear that anywhere, really. See, these aren't gonna work. I guess I could do every other without fussy cutting. Do like one squirrel and then background and then another squirrel. Let's just do that, because I don't want to waste a ton of this fabric. And that is like right on the selvage. Ugh. What's this one over here? That is also a squirrel. Dang it. See, I tell you I'm not that good at this. Strategic cutting. Actually, here it is. There's my SD card with all the footage, and it's just chilling down here. Okay, I'm going to do every other on this one because it is kind of killing me to waste fabric right now. So we are just going to do every other. Which is fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. They won't care. I guess we're going to have to do it this way. That one is not going to work. There we go. Whoop! I wish I had a little carpet cover. Rolling in this chair is so hard, guys. Well, I didn't meet her. I did have an out-of-body experience. I think that's how you say it. Words are hard right now, okay? I feel like my postpartum brain is just, it's either fried or semi-fried. There's really no in between. But yeah, Tula showed up and she didn't announce it or anything. She just kind of came, and she came to the Casey Maker studio booth, and I was just happened to be in the right spot because I was over there getting a pattern. And she just started walking to the booth, and I was like, oh my God, what's happening? That's definitely Tula. What is she doing here? Well, it's Kansas City, and she's an independent, so that has to be her. That's her right there. Like, I know it's her. But you're just sitting there, and you're, like, questioning this very moment. Like, what the heck? And then, do you play it cool and give her some space, or do you just, like, fangirl? And in the moment, fangirl was the only option, and so she was getting a picture with my boss at their booth, and I took their picture, and then she was like, hey, do you want a picture? And I was like, yes, I do. And so I start frantically looking for my phone, and I realized, oh, dang it, it's in the stroller over at another booth with my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. And I was like, no. And I was like, okay, my phone's in a stroller just over there. I'm going to go get it. And I literally ran. I am not a cardio gal. I really don't run. I'm not a runner. I'm not I'm just not. So I ran for Tula. I ran to get my phone, and I came back, and I tried to play it cool. I got my picture, and yeah, it was pretty cool. And I felt so bad because after that, everyone just started, like, mobbing her. I mean, it was... Okay. Did I do this or not? No, I didn't. Everyone started to just crowd her, and I felt kind of bad. I think I might be out of bobbin. Okay, well that explains that. I was like, that's really weird. I feel like I just sewed that, but there's nothing there. We gotta wind bobbins. I'll wind a few while I talk. I hate having to stop and wind bobbins. Can we just make a machine that just has an endless bobbin? Can we do that? It's 2023, okay? Let's make a bobbin that never runs out. Like a top threaded bobbin where you just put a giant spool on there. It can run out sometimes, but Like, as often as this? No, thank you. Alright, let's wind some bobbins. Yeah, she's so sweet to do pictures. I felt really bad afterwards because, you know, I'm sure she knows people are going to recognize her and kind of freak out. And, you know, she goes to these things anyway, and she was really nice to do pictures. She could have been like, no, I'm here. This is my free time. I'm not doing pictures, but she was so sweet. But it was funny because you would kind of just look at the crowd and everyone was realizing that she was there. And you could just see it trickling around, like, oh my God, did you see Tula? Or you'd see people like kind of like looking around for her and everything. It was kind of funny to watch because people love Tula. So I was really happy to get a picture with her. We did see her not this year at the Liberty Walk at Angela's shop, but she was a guest, you know, she was signing books and stuff at the Liberty Walk last year, and we all got pictures with her. I have a fat quarter framed over there. I think I showed it a long time ago, but I have a fat quarter signed and framed by her because, funny story, I knew she was going to be there, but I was not prepared at all. And I showed up, and everyone was getting their book signed. And I was like, I need a book for her to sign. But all of the books were sold out because everybody had to buy a book to get them signed. Everyone was doing what I was doing pretty much. And then once I realized I wasn't going to get a book, I was like, well, she's got to sign something. I'm never going to see her again. So I grabbed a fat quarter from Angela's shop and she signed it. And I was like, you know what? That's going to be fine by me. We'll just do that. You got to improvise when you're not prepared. Just improvise. So I have her little, let me go get it. Let me go get it. Okay, so this is, it's a mineral one. And so I just have it framed and sitting in my sewing room because it makes me happy. I would love to finish my block of the month, the graphic jam that I'm working on. That is all Tula. I would love to get it finished and like one day go to an event where she's at and have her sign it because oh my God, I would die. I would die. It'd be amazing. Did she remember you? Probably not. No way. No. I don't think so. I wouldn't remember me. She probably has seen 1,000 faces. 1,000 fangirl faces and fangirl energy. I also fangirled with Adam. This is so loud. I can't compete. Can't compete. I fangirled a bit with Adam. So fun. I saw him at the Handy Quilter booth. I don't know if you remember, but I was super upset. I mean, about a lot of things, but I was super upset that Casey Makers was having a Handy Quilter event. And Adam So Fun was going to be there. And I wanted to meet him so bad, but I didn't realize that the day that he was going to be there for like the meet and greet and all of the classes and everything was literally the night of the day that I had Archie. And so I was like so bummed. I mean, obviously super excited to have our baby, who I love dearly. But I was like, no, I don't get to meet Adam So Fun. And so I kind of told him that story. when I was at Quilt Fest and I was holding Archie, and I was like, "Can I please get a picture with you?" And he's like, "Of course, definitely." And yeah, he's just such a sweet guy, you know. And he let me fangirl a little bit, which was nice. There we go. And then Mistletoe Quilt, that was another one that I was super excited to see. She's from Omaha. She does a lot of pantograph, I don't know why I said that so weird, pantograph designing. I have a few of her designs, and I really love them. She does great work, and she is so cute. She was like the nicest person ever, and she let me just sit in her booth and just talk her ear off a little bit. Archie had a blowout in her booth and kind of spit up a little bit in her booth, which was an interesting time, I will say. Bringing a 3-month-old to Quilt Fest, we were in the quilt show looking at all of these beautiful show quilts, and my gosh, the first or second day, I'm like looking at them, I'm like, oh my gosh, these are so beautiful, and you just hear and I'm like, okay, well, I'm done looking at these quilts, gotta go. And another day, you know, we were looking at them, and this really nice woman came up to me, and she was like, oh, ma'am, your baby just all over the back of your shirt. And I'm like, fantastic, that's great. My first thought, honestly, was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness I was not standing so close to these quilts, because I would be mortified if anything happened to them, you know, for me holding a baby too close to the quilts. So yeah, that was our experience. Otherwise, he did great. He had a whole bunch of women, and, you know, there were men there too, but there weren't any men wanting to cuddle with him. There were a whole bunch of women wanting to hold him and asking how old he was, and we let a few people hold him. You know, you can't say no. You can't say no. Honestly, I could have had like free daycare there for the whole 3 days. I would have been like, all right, who wants to hold him? And everyone would have been so happy to. He was well loved. Well loved. We were kind of shopping in a booth, my mother-in-law and I, and there was this woman there, and she saw Archie, and she was like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. And she was talking about how she missed the days of having a baby and everything. And I was like, do you want to hold him for a little bit? And she's like, can I? Like, people these days don't even let you breathe on their babies. And I was like, you can hold him for a little bit. You know, don't run off. But, you know, you can hold him. And she held him and bounced him. And we talked about her kids and how, you know, one day she'll have grandkids and stuff like that. And then we just, you know, she gave him back and we went about our day. And as we were leaving the convention center, this car was like driving, and then it stopped and the windows were down, and it was her, and she was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that you made my whole entire day today. Thank you for letting me hold him. And I was just like, oh, that's so sweet. So he had a lot of love, and he gave a lot of people some love too, which was really nice. There was a shop owner who kind of held him for a little bit, and her kids are like graduating high school and starting college, and I don't know, I think, you know, I'm going to be one of those women in not a very long time. Like, my babies are going to be grown and I'm going to see little babies, and I'm going to want to hold them, but I'm not going to want to intrude and ask. And so I understand stranger danger, but in an area full of quilters, a lot of which were, you know, women, mamas, grandmas, aunties, I felt very comfortable in the crowd that I was in. It's not like I'm going to go to some like football game and be like, hey, hold my baby, have a good time. You know, I'm not going to do that. But, you know, I don't know. You've got to just trust your instincts. You know what I'm saying? But I hope that one day someone lets me hold their baby. Because, there's just nothing like it. There's nothing like holding a sweet little baby. And he's not so little anymore. He's getting big. Oh, hi. How are you? Hi, Delia. All is going well. It's a little hectic over here, but I am loving it. Loving it. OMG, can you just imagine that? Oops, sorry about your quilt. Or what if it was there when you met Tula? Oh, it probably was. I probably, I was not a fresh human being during that festival. Oh my gosh, he was having like stomach issues or something, and I would go feed him, and then he would spend the rest of the time voiding everything out of whatever end it would come out of, and I'm just like, oh dear Lord, all of these people think I'm a hot mess. But everyone was so nice and didn't say anything or seem judgy or anything, but in my head, I'm like, ugh, so gross. I'm surprised Tula put her arm around me and like, I was like, oh no, no, no. And then when I took a picture with Adam, like I really was self-conscious. I was like, oh my gosh, I probably smell like spit up, and it was really hot in there, and my postpartum hormones are not evened out yet, and I'm like, gosh, I hope he doesn't think I'm like a nasty individual, but I could smell better. Honestly, a lot of us could, though. It was so hot in there. There were so many people. I don't feel like there was an AC going on anywhere. All right, let's see. Let's get his little face where we want it. Where do we want his face? We want his face right about there. I don't think that's going to give me a 1/4 inch. It'll be close. All right. We're going for it. But yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. Thank goodness he didn't do something to these quilts. That would have been so bad. Being kicked out of Quilt Fest, the first Quilt Fest I ever go to. Oh, that'd be terrible. I do want to enter a quilt though sometime. Like maybe I'm not so terrified anymore of entering something. I mean, am I going to place? No. Am I just going to do it because I want to do it and have fun with it? Maybe. I kind of would love to do that and just get some feedback. I know I'm going to hear something about my points. I know. Maybe Archie was too hot. He could have been. I mean, he didn't feel too hot. I mean, he usually does stuff every single day, and that day, I think the day before, he didn't do a lot of stuff, and then on that day, he was like, okay, let's get it out. And I was like, this is not the day, bro. Not the day. Or the place, or the crowd. But it was fine. We made do. We're just going to do every other on this one. I think it's going to be cool. But he did a really good job. And I held him pretty much the entire time. So the first day we didn't bring a stroller because my friend said that she thought strollers weren't allowed this year. And so we were like, okay, we're not going to do that. So I brought the baby carrier. And he did not want to be in the baby carrier. He maybe was in the baby carrier for like 5 minutes. So then I ended up holding him the entire time. And that was a really good day for not buying anything because I had no hands to like put stuff in bags or like get my wallet out or anything. So that was great. If you don't want to spend money at a quilt festival, hold a baby. Hold a baby the entire time. You will not buy a single thing. I'm telling you. It was probably the best decision I've ever made. And then the second day we did bring a stroller. And I guess the first day I did buy one thing. It was a pattern. So pretty good, if you ask me. And the second day we brought the stroller. And it was really nice because I could bring my water bottle in. I didn't bring my water bottle in the first day because I had no hands. And I didn't want to try holding him and a water bottle the entire time. Sorry, I thought I saw a shadow over there move. It might be Addie running around up there. And that sucked. The first day we were so thirsty. By the end of the day, we went up and we're like, okay. My mother-in-law was like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, oh, you're hungry. All right, well, let's go look at the food that they have. And so we go. Oh my gosh, it was $14 for a hamburger. $14? It was $4 for a water, to which we were like, yeah, no, we're good. And so the next day it was really nice to bring our own water and not have to worry about being thirsty or going bankrupt to buy water. I mean, $1 is steep for water. $4? No, sir. And then third day, my sister-in-law came. And that's when all hell broke loose and we took a lot more things home than we did the first 2 days, which makes no sense, but that's what happened. I did get one of these little dusters. I used it on the long arm and I've used it on my machine. Oh, gross. And it just like dusts all of this. Boop, 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 boop. And it's perfect. It catches everything. I think it was like $6. But I always have dust on my machine because I don't cover it. And I saw Krista Stitches. She's a really great long armor who does a lot of stuff on Instagram. And I saw her, she recently talked about that. And I was like, ooh. I saw it in a booth and I was like, I'll take it. That looks fun. I want a little duster. Woo! Things are falling over here. Okay. This one's going to be the just random. I feel like I hear little footsteps up there. I'm losing my mind. Oh, poor baby. Yeah, he was not, I mean, he was happy. He wasn't crying by any means. I mean, by the last day, he was kind of more irritable, but tummy-wise, he was struggling. For sure. But I would just be talking, having a great time, and he would just explode from somewhere, and I was like, oh, great, okay. I'm gonna have to go. This one's a little busy, but I think it works. I think it's gonna be really pretty. I did get more from my swap mates, so I'll have to show you what has come in. But I'm gonna be mailing out some quilts and quilting bee blocks tomorrow. So it'd be nice if I could get all of these done and I could just mail out a whole bunch of stuff at once. I do have to mail out Heather's quilt. I picked up Heather's quilt. She entered it in the show. And so I have it, and it's so pretty. And I don't really want to mail it back, but that's the right thing to do, right? So I've been holding on to that. I need to package that up and send it to Texas. Send it on to Texas. Hi, Nancy. This one is so cute. What are we going to do on the next one? Are we going to still do squirrels? I want to make it to where each person gets at least one fussy cut from me, like one solid attempt at making them super special. And then they'll get like a bunch of the generic ones. That's what I'm going to call them. They're not really generic. I mean, I obviously tried to make them all fun. But after I got the ones from the members in the mail, I was like, dang, I need to step up my game because they are doing a great job fussy cutting everything. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to try fussy cutting this stuff for the first time with foundation paper piecing, because they did it and I can't just send them blocks that are lame. So that's how we got to this point. Alright, I'm going to trim it and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. But yeah, that was a busy couple days. I did all 3 days with my mother-in-law, and then my sister-in-law tagged in on the last day, like I said, and then on that last day we went to a comedy show downtown Kansas City, and I left Archie for the first time ever, like for several hours. It was pretty anxiety inducing for the days leading up to it, and then it went really well. Whitney should have come to the show. Hi, Whitney. She had a ticket to come see the Impractical Jokers, but she had to go back home. Lame-o. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. But it was a good show. We don't really do a lot of stuff like that, so to do a whole bunch of that in a week was pretty wild. Pretty wild. Oh no! What? No! Ugh, all that work. WTF. No! You know, that's just past saving. We're gonna just have to make a whole new one. Dang it. Fudge on a stick. Why does that look like my thread? Oh my gosh. This is so sad. So sad. Look how pretty and perfect that is, you might say. No, because there's a seam open here where my seam allowance wasn't big enough on one of these pieces. Don't know how that happened, but it happened. I'll just keep this one for myself, and I'll do something with it. What in the heck? That was the first one. Oh my gosh. That is really the pain of it. That was the first one. The first one. And it got messed up and I didn't know. And I went the entire rest of the block. The entire rest of the block. Without knowing that this was messed up. My bobbin probably ran out here. But it is definitely not big enough. I don't know how that happened. It would have been perfect. It would have been perfect. Well, I don't want to send it because, yeah, this is not big enough. This seam allowance is not big enough. And the thread just stopped. So I wonder if because my bobbin ran out. I don't know. Something funky happened here. And I just kept on going. Totally clueless. And look at this little guy. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what's going on. So that one's going to go under here. I'm not going to be sending that to anybody. Oh, man. Well, good thing I printed extra on accident, because we're going to make another one. Dang it. Yeah, I'll probably glue it for myself, but I don't feel comfortable sending this to someone. Speaking of, I'll show you. I'm going to keep them organized by who sent them. I did already show you a set, which was this set. I got another set in the mail the other day. So, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I like how she made this go in a different way. So you got the jaguar head at the top, and then this one's really fun. And then the cats. And the teacups. I really like the teacups. That was really cool. Tiny bees. Some older print. So those are the ones that I got from someone. I already showed the other one. I guess I can show it again. Here's from another one. She fussy cut the hands. That one's really cool. Looks like the tape measure is kind of climbing through the block. So, that's what I'm working against, okay? Or with. Whatever way you want to look at it. I cannot be sending them one that's fallen apart and glued. So, we're going to do it again. Do it again. Maybe these squirrels are doomed. Let's take a break from the squirrels. Whoops. We've got Tula fabric everywhere. Okay. We're going to go to the ladybugs. Let's cut some ladybugs out. Oh, I have my thing already off. I'm sorry I had to drive. You could have just stayed. You could have just stayed. Beth, I had to come say hi, but I'm on my way to bed soon for an early flight. They're so beautiful. Thank you, Jane. Get some rest. Hope you have a nice flight tomorrow. Where are you going? I think the squirrels are doomed, so we're going to do ladybugs. I feel like it's not even that late. It's not even 10 o'clock, and things are falling apart over here. What in the world has this world come to? Oh my. All of these are the blue-green ones. That would be fun. Okay, I'm not fussy cutting this one, okay? I'm just going to go for it. I'm not going to fussy cut. Boop, 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 boop. Off to the fabric patch for my first quilt retreat. Oh, how fun! I hope you have a great time. Take lots of pictures. Soak it all in. That sounds like it's going to be a great time. Let's do... What do I want to use? What do I want to use? Do I have enough of this? 1, 2... Nope. I kind of just have stuff cut up all over the place here. That's part of a selvage. I don't want to use that. I did get some Tula from online. I don't know if I want to use it or save it. I kind of was thinking I was going to make a tote with all of these. So this is the frog prints. I want to make a tote bag with all of the flying geese, and so I want to have like one side be all the flying geese and the other side either be one like out of print fabric or like them put together and then the handle and then the lining. And so I got some fun ones on this D-Stash page because I'm actually really excited to make this project with all of these flying geese. So I'm just gonna maybe not use it. I'll use this fabric that I got. I got a bunch of this. It was $5 for a yard. It was on sale. It was $5 for a yard of Tula fabric. What even is that? Why would you do that? Why would you sell Tula for $5? It was in a very traditional quilt shop, so they're there's your answer there. I don't think they had a lot of Tula. It was a lucky day for me. I was pretty happy to see Tula for $5. So I snapped it up. I was like, that's mine. I'll take it. Okay. We'll do the ladybugs and the foxes. I think that'll be fun. I'm not going to finish these tonight, though. I feel like that was a huge blow to the momentum that I was building. I was so looking forward to getting further and possibly finishing these tonight. There's no way that I'm going to finish the rest of these tonight. So it's gonna have to also be a tomorrow thing. That's okay. That's okay. Do you iron after you glue? Yes, I do. So, well, it's not the glue, it's the starch. I know there's two different, are you talking about this part after the first one? Yeah, I set the glue. And then the acorn starch thing, which I guess they have an acorn glue as well. I don't know if you were talking about that, but I'll like starch that seam with the pin, and then I flip it over and iron it. I cut that piece just obnoxiously big for that section, but that's okay. The mixed media with Tracy would be so cool. Oh, that's awesome. Lucky girl, $5, right? $5. I feel like you can't even get a yard of fabric for $5, like, unless you have a coupon at Joann. I feel like at Joann, it's at least $8 a yard. So to get Tula for $5, I was pretty proud of myself. So fireworks, I guess, are legal where we're at. They've been illegal for, gosh, 20 years. And there are like tents set up in town. Our neighbors were lighting some stuff off tonight. I'm like, oh goodness, it's going to be a long week and a half. Don't get me wrong, I love fireworks. I really do. They're amazing. I love celebrating 4th of July. I love blowing stuff up. But I feel like that joy gets limited once you have kids, because then you're like, oh my gosh, is that one going to be the one that wakes them all up? Is that going to be the one that makes it to where I'm not going to get any sleep tonight, like at all? Like, that's hard. And then when they go for like a week, oh my goodness, it's brutal. Brutal. Any fabric for $5, let alone Tula. Am I right? Am I right? You're totally right. Yeah. Which was pretty good because the rest of the quilt shop was just, it wasn't really that great. And I feel like what makes a quilt shop great is the people who work there. Like, if you work at a quilt shop and someone walks in, go up to them and say, hey, how are you doing? Don't like go into a whole sales pitch of like, okay, we got this for this. Just say, hey, thanks for coming into the shop, or can I help you with anything, or whatever. What are you looking for? Don't just like, I don't know. There's just been a few quilt shops that you go into and people just aren't really friendly. Like, just be friendly, If you're friendly, that'll make up for, not having the fabric that I'm looking for. I mean, they did have some stuff, but it was more traditional, which is fine. I think some traditional things are really pretty, but they were not friendly. Be friendly. I don't know. And be helpful too. Like, I think my sister-in-law asked about needles because she wanted to do some chunky stitching, some hand stitching on a quilt for her baby that's coming, and she asked the people like, hey, I want to do some hand stitching. She asked about the needles, and the lady was like, oh, they're over there. That's not very helpful. She was asking a question. I don't know. I feel like it makes or breaks the quilt shop. You have to have experienced, knowledgeable, friendly people working at the quilt shop. That's what makes it different. I mean, you can go into 10 quilt shops and all 10 of them could have the same fabric. What sets it apart is obviously customer service. You know, some of it's prices, sure, I mean, but most of them are all going to be about the same. So really what makes the difference is the people who work at the quilt shop. Have nice people work at your quilt shop, for Pete's sake, okay? I'm sick of going into somewhere and I'm so excited because I love going and seeing different quilt shops when I'm traveling. Like, I think that's really fun to go see what other quilt shops look like. And I go in with that excitement, and sometimes you're met with, you know, really friendly people who are like, hey, how are you doing? And whatever. But then you have some people that are not really that nice. My sons love to blow stuff up, but it's much stronger than a normal firework. Oh my gosh. Are those called like quarter sticks and stuff? The half sticks or the dynamite or whatever? I love to blow stuff up. I think it's great. Once the kids are older and, you know, bedtime isn't really a thing, I'm going to be so happy because, like, we can stay up late and we can watch all the fireworks and we can blow them up and all that stuff. But it's so nerve-wracking when you have littles and it's like, oh my gosh, your sleep is already limited. Their sleep, you know, seems very, very limited some days. But I'm excited. We're going to go to my in-laws for 4th of July, and we're going to do the splash pad and do like a cookout, do some dinner, and then we're going to stay up late and watch the fireworks with the kids. It's going to be really fun. I really do love 4th of July. That's how this one's looking so far. I think it's pretty cute. They don't have to be fussy cut to be good, okay? I worked in a quilt shop for many years. We tried to make the people feel like they were friends. We helped them a lot and they loved coming to our shop for help and to shop. That's how it should be. And honestly, not just a quilt shop. That should be how it is everywhere. I mean, people should just try to be friendly. And I mean, there is a fine line between getting into someone's face and doing the whole sales thing. You don't have to do that. You also don't have to roll out a red carpet every time someone walks in. But just acknowledging them and being like, hey, you know, thanks for coming in. Is there anything I can help you with? That's it. Bam, done. You know, you can go further than that and be like, oh, what are you working on? And stuff like that. If I worked at a quilt shop, I would probably be on the other end where people would probably be like, shut up, lady. I want to go shop. But that's just how I am. I am probably a little bit more talkative than others, so I used to travel a lot when I was little. I would go every summer, to go visit my Nana and Papa, and they lived in California, and I would go fly by myself, and my parents were always so worried about me because they knew that I just talked to people. I talk, and they're like, great. Don't talk to any strangers, Beth. I would always talk to strangers. I'm just that person where if I'm getting my hair cut, I cannot sit in that chair for like an hour and not say something. Like, I want to hear your life story. Let's just get to it, you know? Not that that's where it starts as, but, you know, I cannot sit there and just be silent. It's so uncomfortable for me. Like, if you're sitting next to someone on a flight for 3 hours, how are you supposed to not talk to them, you know? I mean, some people, if they have their headphones on or they're sleeping, yeah, that's a sign, don't talk to me. But if they don't, and, you know, you can get a vibe of whether people are wanting to interact or not. But I like to talk to people. One time, I was traveling by myself, and when I got off, so the flight attendants knew that I was flying alone. I was in middle school or something. They knew I was by myself, and I think I asked a question about, like, where the gate is once I got off, because I think it was a connecting flight or something. Yeah, it was a connecting flight. And so we're getting off, and I stop and I ask, and she's like, oh, well, the pilot, or he's coming off, so he can help you, take you to whatever gate you need to go to, or, like, read your boarding pass. Because I would always get so anxious about, like, oh my gosh, what if I read this wrong and I don't make it to the gate and then I'm stranded at an airport? Because I've seen a lot of movies like that before, especially when you're young, you know? It could happen. So the pilot actually ended up taking me to lunch because I had time in between my flights. He took me to lunch. I think it was like McDonald's or something. And we sat there and he told me like his whole life story. He was in the military. I think it was the Air Force before he flew commercial. And he went to all of these really fun places, like the Taj Mahal and stuff like that. And he had his little iPad out and he was showing me all these pictures of his life. And that is the stuff. That is the magic of life. What are you doing if you're not connecting with people? I feel like we've normalized not connecting with people so much to where just talking to someone while you're sitting in a lobby, like everyone's on their phones. It's so antisocial. Back in the day, people would talk to each other. I mean, I guess they would have a newspaper or something, some of them. But when did talking to people become so weird? You know? Yeah, almost dynamite. They're 27 and 38 years old, though. Just tell them to be careful with that stuff, though. Gosh, I can't imagine what it's like working in a hospital during this time. The amount of people that probably come in, probably drunk from doing fireworks, drunk. So, we live out in the country, so that's perfect. Blow it up. Go for it. Well, I probably just got flagged on YouTube for saying that. But, yeah. If you're out in the country, you might as well have fun. We're in a neighborhood, and I am honestly surprised that they legalized fireworks. They've always been so strict about it. I mean, people would call the cops and on their neighbors and throw a fit if people were blowing stuff up. But I think it's just gotten to the point where every year it's like, are we going to use our resources for these type of calls, or are we going to use our resources for other things going on that is, you know, actually really bad? Let people do the fireworks, but also don't like be the person that does it for like 2 weeks straight, like 2 weeks before and then 2 weeks after. Don't be that person. I mean, maybe a few days before, a few days after, but some people are like way into it and they just blow stuff up all month. And I'm like, dude, I need some sleep. And Austin's dog, Milo, she doesn't live with us anymore. She lives at his parents' house because she's super anxious and is not very trustworthy with the kids. She's very nippy. She has really bad anxiety, and the 4th of July stuff just really freaks her out. She just paces all night. She gets upset stomach, and yeah. So it's not fun for her. It's not fun for them either because they have to deal with it all night. She gets up and off the bed like every 2 seconds. But I remember when we used to live with her and she would just get really upset. Buddy doesn't mind it. He doesn't care. How old were you when you traveled alone? So, now looking back at it, I don't know if I would let my kids travel alone at that age just because I think the world has changed. Or maybe it was this way and I just was so naive and didn't realize it. But I was like 14, you know. I think I was going by myself. I would go with my sister, and then by the time I was in, 7th, 8th grade, she wasn't going anymore. So I would go by myself. Maybe 12? 11 years ago. I just had a memory show up today. 11 years ago. There's a picture of me at the beach with my papa, and he was like passed out on the sand, taking a nap. And that was 11 years ago, so I would have been 15. I don't know if I would let my 15-year-old girls travel alone. I don't care how responsible you are, but yeah, I would go by myself. Beth, you are so wise for your young age. Oh, thank you. I think I just like to ramble, but I just don't understand this world sometimes. Just don't get it. Like whenever I would go to my OB appointments while I was pregnant, or any appointment, just go sit in the lobby and look at all of the people who just go on their phones. I think a lot of it is a habit, but a lot of it is just, it's just like you feel like you have to. You see everyone else doing it. Well, I gotta get on my phone. And then look at the people who aren't on their phone and what are they doing? Because I'm not on my phone usually when I'm in the lobby. I make it a point to just kind of stare at everyone else and be like, you guys look ridiculous. But I get wanting to pass time, but sometimes it feels like a barrier. Like I'm going to get on my phone and totally disconnect. I don't like that. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. But there are probably people watching right now that are like, people like you make me uncomfortable. Don't talk to me. I'm enjoying my phone time. I'm sitting in a lobby. I don't want to talk to strangers. So I get it. Not everyone likes to do the same things that I do. So I'm not judging you. I just don't get it. Think of all the things we could learn if we just talk to each other. I got my trash can right underneath me. FPP gets so dirty. There's so many pieces of paper and fabric and all the stuff. Okay, this one's done. Ta-da! Look at those seams. Look at how flat that is. Oh my gosh. Look at how flat those seams are. So I'm not going to be the person that's like, oh my gosh, I love acorn, buy it. But I am going to be that person because look at it. It works. I was super skeptical. I can't ever say that word. Skeptical. I don't know. It's late. I'm probably saying it wrong. I definitely feel like I'm saying it wrong. It's like anemone, cinnamon, anonymous, skeptical. Just sounds so weird. Anyway, whenever people rave about something, I'm like, no. Like boy bands when I was in high school, like Jonas Brothers. Everyone loved the Jonas Brothers and Justin Bieber, and I was like, are they really that great? And then now I listen to the Jonas Brothers and Justin Bieber. But it took so many years. I really do resist fads for so long. And so I've seen a lot of people talk about this acorn stuff, and I'm like, but is it really that good? And then I saw it at the show, and I was like, okay, might as well try it, because now I don't have to pay for shipping to try it. And look at those seams. See how flat those are? Dun dun, they're so pancake flat. They look amazing. They're so good. Just to compare, let me pull out one that I did without the seam stuff. Kind of have to think back to when I was piecing these. Okay. Do you see that? Do you see how bumpy that is? Or not bumpy, but like poofy. I guess there are bumps in the seams. And then this is really hard to show you on a laptop. Can you see that? You've got to be able to see that. At least a little bit. But anyway, it definitely works. Okay. What time is it? What time is it? It's 10:10. Let's just keep going. Keep going. We're still one behind because that other one just totally was a dumpster fire. Okay, so we're at 4 more after this one. What do we want to make it with? I'm slowing down, guys. I'm slowing down. Definitely getting tired. Okay, I'm going to move this away. Put that over there. Let's just look at what I have cut up over here, kind of. Let's do some more ladybugs. Let's spread the ladybugs out. Take Archie. Nope. He's going through a 4-month sleep regression, so that's been really fun. He is not sleeping that well. He still does not sleep through the night. I feel like the other 3 were sleeping through the night, or at least, just waking up once. He is not there yet. He is his own individual. He's not going to do what they did. He's got to be his own person and not sleep through the night yet. So that's been a struggle. I wake up so grumpy. I'm like, oh my gosh, please go back to sleep. Luckily, he wakes up, he eats, or he gets changed, then he eats, and he goes to sleep. So it's not like he wakes up and he just stays up and he's super irritable. I'm very thankful for that. But I'm like, also, can you just sleep for like a bigger chunk? I'm so tired, but I'm used to being tired now. Acorn, it is the stuff. A lot of people have talked about it on here. This is the Easy Press pen, and you fill it up with the solution. It's basically a starch, and so after you sew, you put the starch on the seam, and then you let it saturate a little bit, and then you set it with your iron. You fold it over and then iron it, and it makes it super flat. And what I like is it provides like really nice stiffness, which is what starch does. I mean, that sounds silly to say, but I'm not a starcher, so maybe this might get me on the starch train. Heather was talking to me today, and she was like, hey Beth, I have to tell you something. And I'm like, hey, what? She said, this might jeopardize our whole friendship. And I said, I didn't really know what to expect after that. I was like, what? What could she tell me in this moment that would jeopardize our friendship? And she said she's going to be a starcher. And, after using this acorn thing, maybe I'll try starching sometime. I don't know if I will be a true starcher. I have been using that magic stuff a lot, and I spray a lot more of it on, and it does make my fabric stiffer. And I enjoy the feeling of it when it's when it's like that, because I can sew a little bit easier and it doesn't shift as much when I'm cutting. And like some of the fabrics that I like to use, Ruby Star, I feel like it's very flimsy compared to Moda. Moda is a little bit more sturdy, and so using starch or starch adjacent product is kind of nice because it provides that stiffness that makes it work. Okay, so I've got this. I'm going to take this pen and then I'm going to rub it on the line, and then I'm going to take it over to my ironing board and I'm going to flip this over just like you would with FPP, and then I'm going to iron it, and the seam is going to be so flat because I put that starch in there. So some people say that they don't buy the refills and they just put starch in the pen and they use that. And so that would be a lot cheaper than buying this. I will say it's super expensive. That's why I was hesitant to buy it in the first place. Alright, this is going to be kind of crazy, but we're just going for it. We're going for it, okay? We're doing fun, unexpected combinations here tonight. Let's do multicolored ladybugs and hexies. Just because we can. Just because we can. When you're not fussy cutting, you can really go a lot faster with your FPP. Night, Delia. I will not do starch. I want to work with fabric, not a board. That is a good, and that's, maybe you'd like the magic stuff then, because the stuff that I've been using and I really love, I've been using it for several months, maybe even a year, going on a year. It's the Magic Fabric stuff. I think it's called Magic Fabric Care, and they have a whole line, like an iron cleaner, a starch, a fabric freshener, and then something else. And the fabric spray is not a true starch, but it has some starch in it. It's not fragranced, and I have it in a continuous mist bottle, and I spray my fabric on there, and I love it. I was like an exclusive Best Press kind of gal. I loved Best Press. I used it for several years. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll try a few things. I tried the flatter. I like the flatter, I think, mostly because I like the smell of the flatter. And then I tried this, here they are, this Magic Care, and I really, really like it. It's really great, and I get the gallon bottle of it, so it's cheaper that way. But it does make it a little bit stiffer, but not like starch stiff. Like I'm not soaking it in the starch. But you can definitely tell a difference. And so yeah, I really like that stuff. I just don't know if I'm going to be the person that goes, gets the fabric, then soaks it, then dries it, then waits for it to, that I want to get my fabric and I want to cut it and I want to get going. And so that I think is like the biggest obstacle that I need to get over if I'm ever going to be a starcher, is just that additional step. Like even with the acorn pin here, that was kind of a hurdle for me at first because I'm so used to, cutting, sewing, flipping over, iron, doing this whole routine, this ritual almost of piecing. And then you're like, wait, nope, gotta do this first. It just takes some time. Like you kind of want to resist it a little bit almost. But that other night when I was trying the acorn for the first time, I did a block with just the acorn and then I did one without just to see the comparison. Like, does it really work? And it did. And I don't think I'm ever going to use it for traditionally piecing blocks, but for FPP, I do find it beneficial, especially when you take the fabric out, or the paper out, because I hate when I'm doing foundation paper piecing and you take the paper out and all of the fabric becomes so flimsy and it starts wiggling and moving around. I hate that because sometimes you're taking those pieces and you're joining them onto other pieces. So if your fabric is moving around, coming loose off the paper, your seams are kind of getting crazy, it's going to affect your overall block. It's going to shift and cause problems, and so I do see that this is really nice for that. My stuff, it's all staying put, and so I like that. I'm liking that. I do think that doing a true starch, I think I would like it for the cutting process. I know what you're saying, you don't want to work with a board, so the sewing part would probably not be as fun. You know, it takes that feeling away. Like, a lot of us love the feeling of fabric. I feel like you're right, it won't feel like fabric. But cutting on that is going to be so nice because I feel like it's going to stay put and it's going to be a very accurate cut. So, I don't know. I think it'd be great for cutting. I don't think it'd be fun for sewing, like you said. Whoop, the wrong one. Oh, it's getting late. It's getting late. It's been a long day. Been a long day. It is pretty interesting though because the people who sent in theirs already, most of them have been like thinking the same orientation that I have for the geese. So I've been thinking the geese this way and having my things going like this way, but the ones that I showed earlier, she had them this way. So it's just very interesting because my brain never would have positioned it that way. I never would have thought to do that. But now I'm like, oh, I guess they could go either which way. Interesting how people's brains work. I had best pressed and gave it away. I could not see any advantage of using it. It took too much time to bother with. I get it. But that is me, being old school, I guess. LOL, I agree with you. We all do what's best for us, and there's no right or wrong. Absolutely no right or wrong. For sure, we are each of our own personality, and that is great. And we all make beautiful things. We all have different tools and strengths, and we all make beautiful things. It's really great. And we learn from each other. Going to retreats are so fun because you go and you see what everyone's working with, and you're like, ooh, I like that, or no, I don't really think I would use that. But it's just cool. Constantly learning, that is for sure. This one's kind of fun. It's pretty crazy. I know. It's crazy, but it's fun. What's Tula if you can't have some fun and get a little crazy, am I right? My problem with Best Press, I guess it's really my problem with Joanne, is when I was using it, I really wanted to use my coupons on the mobile app to get like the gallon size of the Best Press because I was using it so much, and I was like, I'm not going to keep buying these little spray bottles. Plus I was using one of my own bottles, so I was like, anyway, I wanted to buy the gallon one, and the online app would not let me apply the coupons to the gallon. So, I mean, I guess it would let me apply it, but it was saying that my store didn't have any in stock, even though it was in stock. You know, you'd go to the store and it's there. I don't know if they set it up that way because they didn't want to sell it for that cheap. But you could apply it to the ones being shipped, but you couldn't do it to the ones in store because it was saying that there was none in store, even though there were some in the store. So anyway, that upset me, and I was like, okay, that's just dumb. However they have this set up, that's dumb. Because the coupons did work for Best Press. They just were saying that there's none there, and there were some there. So that was upsetting. Because I love using a coupon if I can. And I'm not going to pay shipping to use a coupon. Absolutely not. So, and some of them you can only use online. So that was not cool. I agree, Tula fabric and fun go hand in hand. And you are the one to agree with that. You are the Tula queen. Are you still watching TV with hubby? Make the vodka starch. Now that's something that I've seen too that looks really cool. I did try to make homemade soap. Oh, no, not homemade soap. I made homemade cleaner for the kitchen, and I used like vinegar, baking soda, orange rinds, like the peels. I put them in a bottle, and some soap. That's how I made the freshener or the cleaner, and it didn't really do a great job. I think from here on out, I'm probably just going to use white vinegar to clean because I've heard that does fine. I'm not going to be someone who's like anti everything, but I am kind of becoming more conscious of like, oh my gosh, that's very toxic and we're putting it all over everywhere. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try and make my own cleaner. I felt really proud of myself. I was like, I'm domesticated! Woohoo! The sewing machine is probably the most domesticated it gets. Well, I guess, having babies and stuff, but I'm not a great cook. So I was like, ooh, look at me. Making my own cleaner. Woot woot. Nope, headed into room to sew. Ooh, I'm making scrappy pineapple blocks. Took a break today from working on my friend's quilt. Oh, that sounds so fun. Pineapple. Is it the tuna pineapple quilt? Is it that pattern? Or is it something else you're working on? 16-ounce water and 2 tablespoons of cheap vodka. And that works. Have you heard that, or I guess I've seen online, where some starches attract bugs and stuff because I guess there's sugar in there? Has anyone experienced that? Because I haven't. But some people were like, yeah, don't use starch because bugs happen. I didn't even think that was a thing. I was like, what? So there's another reason why I'm not. There's stuff in here. It's hard to tell how much is going on here because it's a lighter fabric on the underneath, but. Yeah, I was working on these blocks before I went to Quilt Fest, and when I saw Tula Pink, I was like, I was working on Tula Pink stuff before I came here, and I pulled up a picture of one of the hedgehog blocks, and she was like, oh, cool. She was probably like, you're crazy. But I was so excited. I was like, I manifested you. I didn't say that to her, but I was like, I manifested her. I was working on Tula stuff, and then here she is. It was funny. It was funny. Because she was probably just totally not interested. She's probably like, okay. This person's crazy. Making subway tiles for my charity quilt. Oh, nice. Subway tiles. I'm not really sure I know what that is. Subway tiles. They're not piano keys. What is a subway tile? Just sent you a picture. Let's see. How did I know that you would send that? Oh, pineapple blocks. Duh. I was thinking about like pineapple blocks. Okay, this is gorgeous. This is what Amy's working on. Oh my gosh, I love it. That is just so good. I've always wanted to do a pineapple quilt. I just think they're stunning. How long does it take you to make one block though? Because isn't it like so, it's kind of like this. So trim, so trim, so trim as you go. How long does it take you to make one of these blocks, Amy? That is so pretty. I love the fabrics you chose. That yellow batik, ooh, popping off on that black. That looks so good. I love that. It is like your backsplash in your kitchen or shower. Okay, so it's like the rectangular tile going on. Got it. You were thinking the Tula pineapple quilt. I was, because you are Amy. You are Tula queen. When you said pineapple, I wasn't thinking pineapple. I was thinking pineapple. We need to make a quilter's joke about that. I feel like that's such a quilter's thing. It's funny. Oh, da, 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 ba, boom. About as long as it takes to make a log cabin, since I'm using an AccuQuilt die for them. Ooh. Did you know that it was log cabin day today? It was log cabin day today. It was. It was. We have our own special days. I think log cabins are probably like my top 3 block. I would say log cabins are my top favorite block, and then second would be any star block, and then third would go into bear paws. I've really grown to like bear paws. Don't like making them, but really love looking at them. Log cabins are just, you can do so much with them, with the layout, and you can just totally change the look of a quilt with how you position like the values in your fabric, the colors in your fabric. Oh my gosh. Log cabins are so pretty, and I think I like them a lot because anyone can really make them, you know? Like a beginner could make a log cabin and have very little issues. Stars are just, sometimes they're just unnecessarily hard. Like, let's not do this today. Let's do a log cabin instead. Bye, Jane. Have a fun retreat. Have a good time. Have a safe flight. This one is almost done. Then we only have 4 left. And it's, oh my gosh, it's 10:30. I feel like I just said it's not even 10 o'clock. How did time just float on by like that? What in the world? Log cabin is a go-to for me with scraps. Log cabin was my first block I ever made. Aww. It is really great for scraps. There's so many quilts that I want to make, but I want to make the courthouse step one by Tara Lee. Are courthouse steps, is that another block, or is it just a play on a log cabin? Because I feel like it kind of looks like a log cabin. I don't know if, are courthouse steps a category, or is that just the name of that pattern? Okay, this is the last one. That's so fun! I like how like bright and cheery this one is. I haven't been trimming my threads. Sorry members. Swap members. I'll just trim it with these obnoxiously big scissors. It is a log cabin type. Okay, so it is like its own category. Okay. Because I didn't know if it was like the name of just that pattern or if that's like a block type. Courthouse step is a block, but is very similar to log cabin. I like courthouse steps a lot. I feel like that's also a great scrap option. We gotta pull all these papers out before we mail them. I'm glad I didn't wait to do them all at once. 30 of these. At the very end would have been just like, oh my gosh. I like peeling them, so it works, but look at that. That's so fun. I just like playing with this stack. Whoa. It's hard to imagine that I'm going to have like a stack just like this. And you know how, I don't know, actually. Some of the members are running late, which is totally fine. But before too long, I will have a stack just like that. Should I do one more? Should I do one more? I have 4 more to go. 4 more to go. Should I keep going? Should I do one more? I like the ladybugs. Aren't they so cute? I love how they change colors. I wish I would have gotten the wide back of the ladybugs. That blue's really fun. Do I hear Archie? I don't think so. Okay. That was my first quilt. A courthouse one or a log cabin? One more. Okay, we're doing one more. We're doing one more. I say we just go for the same one. I'm not going to send 2 of the same to someone, so it'll be fine. We'll make another one. I think that was a fun mix. Fun, fun, fun. Love, love will keep us together. Got that stuck in my head today because it was playing it while we were playing outside. Okay. I'm not even gonna iron this one. I'm just gonna start. We're throwing all the rules out the window. Courthouse steps. What fabric did you use for that? Do one more. Do one more. Okay. I'll do one more. And then by the time I get done with this one, I'll be like, well, I only have 3 more, so I might as well do one more. And then I'll be like, well, I only have 2 more, so I might as well just do both of those. We'll just see what happens. Let's see how I feel once we're done with this one. Okay. Let's see. Do we have 8 of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. We'll just use this. It's going to be different. We're going to have the fox fabric. These people are going to be like, wow, this girl really likes this pink fox fabric. It's almost in all of these. I don't want to pull another one while I'm so close to being done because I don't want to partially cut up another fat quarter. So I'm just going to try and use what I've got. Dark blue with pink, a green and a pink and a green print. Came out so pretty. That was in 1998. Oh my gosh. Do you still have that quilt? Did you gift it to somebody? Who was it for? Please tell me you still have it. Or somebody has it. We might as well just go until Archie wakes up, okay? We're just gonna go. I'm kind of losing steam, but I am also very motivated because I'm seeing that I only have like 3 left after these. And I have other things I need to work on this week, so might as well just get it done while I'm down here. Plus, I'm having fun on here. I don't really get on live anymore. I kept it for me. Good! Good! I feel like quilters do not keep enough quilts for themselves. I think it's great to make stuff for other people. I love doing that. But for like the first 2 years of quilting, I maybe kept 1 quilt for myself and everything was for everybody else. And I loved it. It was great. But then now looking back, I'm like, dang it. I wish I would have like made 1 or 2 just for me. I wish I would have kept it just to look back at that time period, but also to see like how I've grown over the years. So I think it's really great that you kept it, especially like your first quilt. That's amazing. I don't know if it's down here, but it was down here earlier. Hold on. Love will keep us together. Okay, so this was the first quilt that I made. It was kind of inspired by Angela Walters, one of her like Starburst videos. I think it was called Starburst. It was inspired by one of her videos. I didn't really follow a pattern. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I watched her videos and I was like, okay, I'm going to make something like that. And for someone who loves colors, I really wanted to make something with yellow, black, and white. I don't know why. And then it has birds because I love birds. And I just picked these all up at Joann and I was so excited. And I made each of these blocks a little different. And then the back is patchwork. And when I started quilting, even though I was on a very small like brother machine, I was watching all of these videos and I guess I was just very ambitious because I started quilting, free motion quilting on my machine. I just like would drop the feed dogs and free motion quilt on this tiny little machine on my kitchen table. Does it look great? Not really. Let's see if I can get a close up. I will say the stitches for the most part have really held up. I mean, it's just kind of wrinkly. You can't really tell. But I free motion quilted my first quilt, which was for my son. And then I free motion quilted that one. And I free motion quilted this giant Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one that I made Austin. And I changed the thread every so often. And I did all of the colors of the turtles. So I did like red, orange, purple, and I made it look like, I don't know what I was on, but I was really enjoying this free motion quilting thing. And I didn't realize till later on, I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy to just start out doing. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was having a great time doing it, that's for sure. And it's held up, so that's good. Thank you, it hangs in our bedroom. Good! I would love to see a picture of that sometime. I think that's really cool. Did you label it? Do you label your quilts? Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Taylor. Well, what was I going to say? Oh, so that was the first quilt that I had no idea what I was doing, but I was confident in not knowing what I was doing, and I just did it anyway. And that quilt, I didn't trim any of my half square triangles. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought you made the half square triangles, you sew them together, bam, you got a quilt. I had no clue that you had to square them up. So all of that whole quilt top is sewn together with probably a 1/2 inch seam allowance, probably not consistent at all. All these half square triangles, not squared up. It worked though. It's fine. You didn't label it? You should go back and put a label on it. That way going forward, like, it has its history written on there. Don't come for me. Don't be like, you hypocrite. I don't label mine, but to have a quilt from that long ago and to still have it, you should label it. You should label it. I was going to this guild in town with my mother-in-law before we joined Modern Quilt Guild, and they had speakers come from Hamilton. Was it Hamilton, Missouri? I think it was Hamilton. They have a quilt museum down there, and they had the ladies who started it come and tell their story about opening up the quilt shop or the quilt museum, and they told stories about all of the quilts that would come in and everything. People donate them. Some people turn them in and like, what is this? I don't know what it is. And anyway, she left the meeting and she was like, label your quilts. Label your quilts because they become history. They become part of history, and if you don't label it, you know, people who inherit it later on will not know anything about it. Who it's from, what time period, you know, what part of your life you were going through when you made it, who you made it for. I think I've told this story before, but they came and told a story about getting a whole box of these paper pieced blocks. They still had the papers still in the quilt top, so it was like a bunch of English paper pieced stuff, and the paper was still in there, and it was all of these love letters, and they ended up like reading through it and like putting together a timeline, and it was this couple, and they were writing love letters to each other, and love letters over years and years, and love letters while they were in school and separated, and then they got married, and then the other papers that were in there was like their wedding invitations and graduation papers and baby shower stuff, and it was all in this quilt, and it all had the story of their life. And I think the husband passed away first, and she had kept all of these memories, all of this stationery, all of these invitations and mementos, and she made this quilt. She started making it, and then she passed away, and they said of a broken heart, which, oh my God, I was sitting in that room just sobbing. I was like, I think I was pregnant. I was just like, oh my God, like, this is terrible. Who would tell this story? But anyway, it was such a sweet story, and she like made this quilt out of all of their memories. And they said, label your quilts. So after that meeting, I was like, okay, I'm going to label my quilts. I have not labeled a single quilt. But I have been adding those little fun decorative labels on there. So that's better than nothing, right? I had a good teacher. I know when I made it, where in the teacher I will label it. Yes, good, Donna. Go label it. Who cares? Looks great. Thank you, Sue. I'll have to show you my first quilt block, LOL. It's pretty bad, but my first block, that is. I doubt it's that bad. Stop it. It is not bad at all. We are all our worst critic, okay? What block was it? Is it just like rogue in your sewing room somewhere? Or you should frame it. Like your first dollar? What if we framed our first blocks? I gave my first 2 quilts to my adopted daughter and my best friend. I labeled both of mine. Good job, Sue. That's sweet. That's really sweet. I knew that my first quilt that I made, I was going to make it for Addie. I was like, you know what? The firstborn is getting the first quilt. And though, like, in meaning, that's pretty sucky for the other kids because it's like, what? He got the first quilt? But over time, it actually ended up working pretty well because he got the first quilt. It's really rough. The binding looks so bad. Don't even know how it's still together. And then as time has gone by and the other kids get quilts, they're like light years ahead of his. So meaningful level, maybe, you know, his means more, but then like over time, his might not be here still. The binding, I don't know. It was very, very janky. I'll just say that. But yeah, I've gotten better. I did bring that quilt to the last guild meeting because we had our first and favorites meeting where everyone circled up and we had our first quilt and our favorite quilt, and we kind of like grouped up and talked to each other and got to know each other better through talking about our quilts. And I asked Addie, I was like, Addie, can I take your quilt with me tonight? And he was like, no. He was like, absolutely not. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. All right. And so Zoe hears that exchange and she's like, oh, you can use my quilt. You can take my Tula quilt. Cause she has a Tula quilt and she calls it her Tula quilt. She's like, you can take my Tula one. And I was like, okay, well, I'll take your Tula quilt then, and I won't take Addie's. And then Addie's like, oh, wait, no, you can have mine. You can bring it. You can definitely bring it. So then I was like, oh, well, great. Thank you. I guess I would love to take yours because it is my first quilt. And I want to go talk about it, and I'll bring it right back. And so after all that fuss of not wanting me to take his quilt for a couple hours and bring it right back, we go up to his room, and it's not even on his bed. It was on like his recliner, behind his recliner, like wadded up somewhere. I'm like, seriously? You weren't going to let me take this quilt to go show my friends for just a little bit, but you don't even have it on your bed anymore. What the heck? So I just thought that was funny. And so then at that point I was like, well, I don't need to bring Zoe's, but she was very adamant. She was like, Mom, take my Tula one. Take my Tula one. I was like, okay, fine. I'll take your Tula one. I didn't end up talking about it, but that was a really cool meeting. We got to connect with some people in the guild a lot more. The guild is over 200 people. It's so hard to, go and talk to people. There's so many people. How do you talk to everybody and get to know them? My first block is in a frame. Oh, I put vinyl on the glass that says, bits of faith, scraps of hope, crumbs of inspiration. Amy, that is so stinking cute. Gosh, I can't remember what it was called, but it was one from Ginny. I had it hang on the wall for a long time. It's in a drawer somewhere now. Go get it out. You gotta do what Amy did. Get it framed and put a cute, that is such a cute saying. You should definitely take it out of the drawer, Teresa. Take it out of there. It deserves to be on a wall somewhere. I think, hold on, after I finish this, I do have one that I made while we were in the apartment still. I don't know, it might have been like my third quilt. I don't know. I'm going to close my window though. That's freaking me out. I'm like hearing noises out there. Ugh, I hate sewing at night with the window open. Just freaks me out. We have cameras out there, so I would get a notification if there was something out there, but I still get the heebie-jeebies sometimes, okay? Speaking of which, Addie came into our room last night. I mentioned the sleep regression, right? The 4-month sleep regression with Archie, so that's been kind of rough the past week or so. And then last night, I finally got Archie fed again, and I kind of handed him over to Austin, and he was with him for a while, and I laid down, and I finally was able to turn my mind off. I'm always thinking about like the checklist of things I need to do, and it's so hard for me to turn off my brain to fall asleep. And so when you finally accomplish that, right, and your brain turns off and you are drifting into sweet slumber, and then you hear this just angelic voice, and it's like, Mom? You're like, oh crap. Oh no, and you look in the door frame, and there's your son standing in the dark, and you're in your doorway, and he's like, Mom, there's a bear in my room. I was like, oh gosh, that's just terrible. And I was like, okay, come on in. Open. I like pulled my blanket up. I'm like, come on, get in. But he had his like first official nightmare, I think. Poor guy. I told him there are no bears in your room. You just had a bad dream. But I also know that he's never gonna be this young again. And I also didn't want to have to get out of bed and go check him back in. So I was like, in the moment, I was like, the best thing to do right now is just get some cuddles. He's gonna have some mama cuddles. He got in our bed, he cuddled up with me and fell asleep. And then I instantly regretted the decision that I made because then I had nowhere to sleep. He took up the whole half of the bed, and I ended up turning upside down and putting my head at the foot of the bed and sleeping in between him and Austin. I was like, this is a terrible idea. Who allowed me to do this? I totally gave up my spot in the bed, woke up, and couldn't get back to sleep because then my mind was like, okay, time to reboot. Let's start thinking about stuff again. Luckily, Austin let me sleep in today a little bit. I woke up at like 8:30 and I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? I'm hearing stuff. You always have to listen. But yeah, I woke up at 8:30 and I was like, oh my god, it's so late. What am I doing? That's like the point of life I'm in. 8:30 is so late. So late. Oh, like, I don't know what that was, but something. Oh, probably a hair or something. I don't know. Guys, I'm losing it. Send me to bed. Send me to bed. Aw, poor Addie. I think we all do that, LOL. Hello, Shirley. How are you? Yeah. It always gets really bad when I have, like, quilting things on my mind. Because I always make a list of everything I need to do, and I check it twice. It's like a Santa list, I swear. I just think about all these things that I have to do, and when I have to get them done by, and where I need to do it, like all the specifics, and I just sit there and I literally have a computer running in my brain. I feel like it just doesn't shut up. It's so frustrating. I try to pay attention to a sound, like if the fan's on, I try to listen to the sound of the fan, or count to some number, or try to think of like a empty box. I don't know. I've tried all the things. I try all the things. I can't sleep with the TV on, so that's not an option. And I don't know. But some nights it's really, really hard for me to get to sleep because I'm so focused on all of the stuff. All of the stuff. Of things that I have to do. Like, oh, did I post about this? Was I a good mom today? Then you start analyzing all of your interactions that you've had with everyone in the day, and whether you're a good person or not. You just kind of, I don't know, I go down this rabbit hole of just thinking all of these things before going to bed, and then I end up not going to bed, and then I get woken up for, I think that's part of it too. I feel like my body senses that I'm going to be woken up in a couple hours anyway, so why do you really need to fall asleep? You don't really need to fall asleep. Our guild is about 85 ladies and one husband. However, only about 40 or 45 come to meetings. It's great because it's small and everyone is so friendly. That's a great size, I feel like. And I love how there's some men there. We have at least 2 men that come every meeting. I did see that there was a new member that joined that was a man. But yeah, 85 compared to almost 200. yeah, that's a little bit more manageable for being able to kind of interact with everybody and get to know each other. That's really special. I really do like modern quilt guild. Everyone's really friendly. Everyone's really talented. My gosh. When I started, I was a young whippersnapper. And I was so excited to like bring stuff to show and tell, and then you watch show and tell and you're like, ooh, stuff your quilt back in your bag and kind of forget they even brought one, because these are insane that people are making these things and they whip them out so fast. And yeah, so yeah, everyone's so talented. Okay. Should we do one more? Should we do one more? My problem is after the list of to-dos, then the ideas start flooding in, right? Teresa and Kate are my sound machine. They help me stop thinking and relax. Teresa does have a very soothing voice and way of talking and way of just doing. Yeah, maybe I need to start watching Teresa at night. That sounds weird, but Teresa, I might be watching you tonight. The neighbor's dog just came for a drink of water. We must have really good water, LOL. You must have. Okay, here's the question though. Do I do another one? We only have 3 more to go. It's so close but so far away. Okay, I'm just going to do one more. You don't have to twist my arm, anybody. Okay, and this time we're going to go crazy. We're going to do these purple ones as the center, and let's do these hexies as the outer. Sure. Do one more. Okay. Well, we're doing one more. Taylor, I think she's like, yeah, sure. I was ready to go to bed, but sure, do one more. I'm with you. I feel like I have to keep going. What a funny dog. What kind of dog is it? Okay. So I was on this Tula D-Stash thing. Amy, I'm sure you know about it, on Facebook. My goodness, the prices people are willing to pay for Tula, for out-of-print Tula, is just insane to me. Absolutely nuts. Good night. Good night, Donna. No, I love watching, LOL. Okay, we'll stay up for one more. And then I'm going to be like, wait, I only have 2 more. I might as well just keep going. Maybe we'll finish something. Or maybe Archie will start screaming in the next 2 minutes. Who knows? That's the fun part about sewing at night now. You never know. Is she going to be summoned, or is she going to get some sewing done? I am getting close to being summoned, though. I would say within the next hour, he's going to be waking up and being like, whoa, where's my mama? Where is my mama? That one was ironing weird. That's going to be a fun one. I've been doing the darker ones in the center and I've been doing the lighter ones in the center and the dark ones on the outer corner. So this is kind of flip-flopped to what I've been doing. So we shall see how it goes. Well, it's a mutt, part dingo. He's tan, but as tall as Willa. A dingo. Mutts are sometimes the cutest little things. That's gonna be fun. I like that. I like it. I like it. We only have... Oh! Things are getting loud over here. Oh, Teresa. This better be a dog picture. Or a picture of your block. Oh. The preview looks cute. It's like a tiny, tiny preview, but I know it's a dog. He's so cute. Oh my gosh. Look at those eyes. Give me water. Give me water. Oh, he's cute. I like his paws. He's got like a sock on one paw. And then a partial sock on the other. I like his little sock. Little freckled sock. So cute. So he just like comes into your house? Do you have the door open? You are so friendly. I don't think I would let my neighbor's dogs in the house. Their dogs are crazy though. Oh, my adorable dog. He is pretty cute. I would give him anything. You want a prime rib, my dude? Let's go. He's pretty cute. Gosh, now I'm thirsty. Teresa, can I have some water? Tomorrow's gonna be a big mail day if I get this done, because I've got a few things going out. I've got 2 quilts being mailed out. I have 2 quilting bee blocks being sent out, and then 30 of these. That's gonna be a lot. I do need to send Heather her quilt back, so maybe I'll mail that out. So 3 quilts, 2 blocks, plus 30 flying geese. That's a lot of mail to go out on a Monday, on any day. That's a lot of quilt stuff going out. His name is Zipper. Oh my gosh, Zipper, that is so cute. Yes, the door is open and he comes over at least once a day. He is so sweet, so it's okay. Oh my gosh, with a name like Zipper, that is adorable. I don't think I've ever heard that name. That's so cute. Zipper. Oh my gosh. I like that name. Zipper. This one's turning out pretty well, I would say. These colors are looking fun. See, dang it, sometimes I forget to do this little thing. I feel like I have to fill it up again. Anyone that has this, when you fill it up, does it start coming out the top when you flip it over? It like fills up the cap and then spills out. And I've filled it up twice now. And it's done it both times. So I don't know why it's doing that or what I'm doing wrong, but I'm not even filling it up all the way. Like I'm giving it some space. but it spills out. So is that normal? Is that normal? Let me know. I will say I made a recent purchase. So I've been getting my handy quilter needles at the quilt shop, and they're like 10 needles for like $12, $13, which is insane. And I try, when I say I try, I do. I change my needle after every quilt. If it's like a baby quilt, I'll maybe do 2 baby quilts with 1 needle. But like an actual big quilt, I will change my needle every time. And so this weekend, I was looking on Amazon and I found a 100-pack of the needles, and I like matched the numbers and I did all that, and I was so scared. I was like, oh my gosh. I didn't read the reviews. I just looked at the numbers, and I was like, all of these numbers seem to match these, but there's some weird ones here. And it wasn't marketed on Amazon as handy quilter needles. They were just like these needles with these random numbers and letters. So I was kind of nervous. I was like, oh my god. But anyway, it was 100 of them. 100 of them. Like, that is going to take a long time for me to get through versus buying needles every 10 needles, which is just ridiculous. 10 of them for $30. And I opened them up, and they are gold. They are gold. The other ones that I've been buying are silver. So then I looked at them, I was like, oh my god, these are definitely not going to work. They're gold, but they work. They were great. I used one today. It's fantastic. And it was a really big quilt, too, I feel like. So anyway, I'm pretty proud of myself for finally, like, looking into getting needles somewhere else and not being scared that I would get the wrong one. Just saved some money. Plus, I didn't have to drive to the quilt store, so that was nice to just have them sent my way. The other day I had my patio door open and a deer stood there for about 10 minutes looking and listening to what I was watching on YouTube. What? I'm jealous, Shirley. That sounds really nice. Was it like a mama deer or a baby deer? I am best pressing some cute fabric to make a pillowcase for my grandson. It's this cute fabric with different kinds of drums on it. Yes, he's a percussionist in the school band. That is so sweet, Yvonne. I hope I said your name right, Yvonne. I love that. A cute little pillowcase. Band geeks for life. Band geeks for life. I was a clarinet. I played the clarinet starting in elementary school and then all the way through high school. So band geeks unite. Good for him. I hope he sticks to it. We're almost done with this one. Should I keep going? Should I keep going or should I go to bed? I'm already awake. There's no sense in going up there and falling asleep for 10 minutes. He's gonna wake up and be like, "What's up, Mom?" Oh, you fell asleep? No, I don't think so. There's no sense in doing that. So I might as well just keep going until I finish these blocks or until he wakes up. You said it perfect. Yay, good. Titanium needles have a gold color. I got mine from Amazon as well. So I guess they are titanium then. That's very interesting. I was wondering what the difference was. Is that better? Is that longer lasting? What is the difference there? Just a young female. Last year I had 3 fawns looking in at me. Oh, I love the fawns, how they have those little like speckles, the little freckles. They work great, Nancy. I use the titanium for my rotary cutters too. He starts high school in the fall. He's definitely a music geek. Oh, high school. Freshman year. Oh my goodness. I have such mixed feelings about high school. It's a lot of things when you're in it and you just want to be out of it, and like even like looking back sometimes you're like, gosh, I would never want to go back. But then like there were parts of it where it's so freeing. You don't have bills, you don't have to worry about all this stuff. It's such a free time. It's such an exploring time. You kind of learn so much about yourself. But it also sucks. It's like a whole bunch of stuff. They last longer, Beth. Because I've been buying, when I go to the quilt shop, I've been buying the high-speed size 18 handy quilter needles. And so I didn't know like what makes it high speed compared to like the regular speed one or the regular size 18. So that's what I was nervous about, because I've noticed that when I work with the regular handy quilter needles, not the high speed, which, what even is that? I'm not going super fast on the machine, so I don't know why, but for some reason my machine was not working well with the regular ones. I haven't used them in a long time to see if they would go right now. It could have just been maybe a fluke back then, but I've been scared to go back and try the regular ones. So I wonder, what is the high speed option? What does that even mean? Morning, just on my lunch break at work. Hi, Janet. How are you? All right, there is that one. Woot woot. Pull the paper out. The hard part's going to be dividing these up and deciding like who gets what. Making sure everyone gets like a good variety. Because I don't want everyone to get like the same one over and over and over. So we're going to have to spread these out. I feel like I am using more current ones. Everyone has been sending in older lines, so I hope they're okay with what I picked up. Okay, got 2 more. I'm just gonna go for it. Let's do ladybugs. Did I have ladybugs cut out again? I guess not. I don't know if that's big enough. I definitely just did not cut that big enough. Well, maybe not. I mean, it's pretty close. It's getting late, and I am just cutting this all haphazardly. Oh, Lord. Okay, let's try again. This is going to bother me if I can't get it. What in the world? Well, that's why I'm cutting them wrong. What? Guys, I officially lost it. 1, 2. We're just going to see how these go. The later it gets, the riskier it gets. There's this one. What do we want to accent it with? Do we want to accent it with some blue squirrels? I've got, all of these are like the fussy cut ones that I'd rather just send in the mail with them. Let's do, that's a little too crazy. We're not going to do that. Let's do some yellow. I've got a bunch of this yellow, so let's cut some of it up. I might be able to use this for the last block too. We're going to do yellow hexies with these. Ladybugs. Okay, these scissors are amazing. My boss gifted these to everyone for Christmas, and they're Kai scissors. I guess they're from Japan. Oh my gosh, they're amazing. So good. She said they're her favorite scissors, and they're really, really great. And they come with a blade cover, which is really nice. Very luxurious feeling. Very nice. Okay. We're almost done. I told myself that July is going to be a chill month. I'm not going to overcommit to things. I'm not going to sign up for a whole bunch of everything. I'm just going to exist, and I'm going to slow down on signing up for stuff. I kind of just get so excited to do everything, and I get blinded. I honestly wasn't going to sign up for this because I was like, I had a moment of self-control and logic, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if I can commit to this right now. Maybe I shouldn't. And then it went from maybe I shouldn't sign up to this to let's sign up for the highest amount of sets that you can make in a group. Let's sign up for that one. I could have signed up to just do 4 or just do 10, and I signed up to do 30, which one does when they're unsure of, I don't know. So July is going to be chill. I'm not going to go crazy. I do have one more test after this that I'm going to do. It's going to be a quick test, super easy pattern, and then I am not signing up for anything. I'm going to make Louise a baby shark quilt. I got the fabric for a while ago. I got it for her birthday, to make for her birthday, because she really loves baby shark. And I just haven't had the time to do it, so I don't think it's going to be a crazy intricate one, but I want to make her a baby shark quilt. We're in the zone right now. We're flying through these steps. Knock on wood. I love my Kai scissors and bought a pair of left-handed handles with right-handed blade. They are great for cutting pattern pieces. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that you could do that, that you could customize. That is really cool. They've got the serrated edge, and they feel like they just feel really good. I didn't even know anything about them, and then she gifted them in the treat bags, and I was like, oh, cool. And then I started using them. I was like, oh my gosh, these are really nice. Dang it. See? I jinxed it. I didn't use my acorn thing. Here we go. I want to do a cool video or reel of like all of these. Like a stop action one where it's like every second it changes to a different one. I'll see if I have enough in me to do that before I put them in an envelope and send them off. We're so close, guys. We're so close. I feel like I find a free summer sew-along every week. They look so fun. I feel like that too. Haven't they been just doing a ton of sew-alongs lately? It's almost every pattern release. There is a sew-along announced. It's insane. There's so many. I feel like there's also been a ton of newsletter, like free patterns being announced. Subscribe to my newsletter and get this free pattern. So I'm like subscribing to all of these emails because I've got all of these cool patterns that they're releasing and they're free. And I'm like, sure, I'll sign up for your emails. Sign me up. Let's just fill the whole thing. I need to make a like a separate email, like a burner email, and just have those emails go to that. Because I'm signing up for so many. Okay, I think that's good enough. It's close, but it's good. I asked the Kai rep when I was at QuiltCon. He completely knew what I was talking about. It was awesome. They are not serrated. Oh, I thought they were serrated. I feel like mine are serrated. I feel like mine are double serrated. We're definitely in there. Okay, then keep going. I gave up trying to keep up. Just can't do them all, right? And I don't want to overwhelm myself trying to. I have the serrated. Okay, so there's different versions. See, I don't know a lot about the brand, so that's cool to see. I know Patty just got in the Kai scissor sets, and there's like a garment making one, and there's another like a different set, and there's like 4 different kinds of scissors in there. I like these so much that I considered it, but it is kind of expensive. I'm like, do I need more scissors? It's looking pretty cute. It's like sunshine and ladybugs. Such a happy vibe. together. Love will keep us together. Cause I really love you. Stop. Is anyone making Tracy's gingham strawberry challenge? I did see that Donna announced on her page that she's doing that. It's a really cute pattern. Because I stopped jumping into sew alongs, I completed 2 quilts and a wall hanging to store my embroidery hoops this month. Almost done with another quilt as well. Go, girl! That's awesome! Yeah, that's what I want. I want to, like, have more time for the projects that I want to do. Like, I want to do it all. Obviously, we all want to do it all, right? But then you sign up for all these things, and it takes you away from the other things that you want to do. So, yeah, I want to start doing that too. Just taking a step back. You don't have to do all the things. You should do what you want to do. Even though you want to do those things. I mean, I have some stuff that I need to do. I really want to get back into that block of the month. That graphic jam quilt. Even if I just did like 1 block a week. We need to get Heather back on for BYOBOM. We need to do it. That's decided. Graphic Jam has been on my mind, and if I were to ever enter a quilt into a show, it would be Graphic Jam because it's foundation paper piece, so my points are going to be popping. They're going to be great. And I can put it in a paper piecing group or category. I don't know how you say it. And it'd be all Tula. I'm sick of thinking about it and not making any progress on it. So I'm going to start choosing things like that. Because I really don't have a lot of work in progress things. I'm not someone that has 10 quilts just sitting, you know, in pieces. I really am not like that. For the most part, I start a project, I complete it. I have the Graphic Jam quilt on standby. I'm trying to think, what else do I have that's technically like a UFO, really? I mean, the goldfinch, I know some of you guys are going to come at me for that. Don't want to hear it. I'm going to say that doesn't count, okay? Because I threw in the towel pretty much with that. I one day might go back to it, but I have no, like, I don't know. I'm not motivated to do it right now. I don't really have a ton of work in progress things. I just have a lot of quilts that I have fabric for and a plan for that I haven't started at all. So I'm not a whip person. I'm kind of just a... I have a lot of things with plans that I just haven't been able to start yet. Because I like to start something and I like to finish it. The goldfinch is really the only quilt I've ever started and then just stopped. And kind of been like, nope, I'm done. Don't want to do this. So, and that's nothing against legit kits. So don't come at me. I love legit kits. They're great. I just was not organized for it, and I do not have the bandwidth for it right now. Didn't have it then. It's intense. There's a lot of fabric, and I think I just kind of got overwhelmed. But I would love to finish that someday. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll surprise you one day. Maybe I have it done. Maybe it's done. And it's just hanging up somewhere, and I didn't tell you guys that I finished it. Maybe. Mary, that berry gingham quilt is super cute, but I'm not doing it. Yes, we need Heather. I miss her. I know. I miss her too. I was able to talk to her today for a bit. She was going to sew with me tonight, and then I came down here and I asked her if she was sewing, and she was watching TV with her hubby, and she was doing some quilting stuff in the living room. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go live. So I went live. But we did talk about doing block of the month again. So maybe this Friday. What if we come up on Friday again and we do our block of the month? Would you guys totally lose it? It'd be like nostalgia back in the day. Back in the day when we would just stay up till like 2 in the morning quilting. And then there's that one. He's so cute. All right. Drum roll. Do we want to do another one? Do we need to stay up and do another one? It's the last one. Love seeing young people quilting. Hi, Carla. Yeah, it's we cannot let this craft go away. We must all do quilting forever, okay? I will not let it die. Okay. This is the last flying geese of 30. What are we going to do? I think squirrels would be fun. Let's do squirrels again. Let's try. And these hexies I think would be really cute. So I'm going to fussy cut the squirrels again. Everyone hold your breath, cross your fingers, cross your toes, that I don't jack it up again. Because, yeah, that happened last time. Okay, we are just going to cut through some of these, but I need enough room to position the geese where I need the geese. So here we go. The last one. The end of an era. Will I ever sign up for a 30-piece flying geese swap again? And when I say 30, I mean 30 sets of 4. So technically, I've made 120 flying geese. 120 flying geese. Thank goodness I'm doing it foundation paper pieced and not traditionally, because 1, I would still be working on trimming them, and 2, no points would survive. No points at all. Okay, here we go. Let's do this guy right here. I'm going to try and switch up the angles so the squirrels are... Okay. That'll do. I'm going to set the glue so it doesn't move. I have more than several whips, but mostly kitted up fabric pull of ideas. See, that's where I'm at. You and I are similar in that. Okay. I'm going to cut that off and save it for the next one. I know this is crazy. I'm not using a ruler. I'm being very careful though. So you are using your units for a bag. Yes, that's what I'm going to use mine for. I'm pretty sure. I guess I could make a wall hanging, but I've got a lot of wall hangings, and I think it'd be really cool to have a tote bag that I could bring to Guild for like the free table or show and tell, like bringing my quilts to show and tell in it. And then, I don't know. A tote bag is all I can do, okay? I'm not a bag maker. I would love to be like Amy, who does these amazing bags, But I am just not at that level. It'd be really cool to use these and turn them into a bag with like a zipper, like a legit bag. The best I can do is a tote bag. I guess I can make a not your basic blue bag. That would be kind of cool. I don't know. If I get too crazy with it, I won't do anything with them and they'll sit. And I don't want that to happen, so we'll see. What would you do with these flying geese? What would you make? If you had 30 of them coming in, all random, I got some like special Tula out of print fabric to incorporate too. How would you best showcase the flying geese and your special fabric? What would you make? Would you make a quilt top? You bet, go for it. You need to let me help you make a zipper bag. You will wonder why you avoided it. Amy, you have too much faith in me. I know my limits. Anything with a zipper, out of bounds. I will learn, okay? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. There's movement in our room. We have a camera in our room too because we've got a camera in the kids' room and in our room because it faces the crib. And there's movement, folks. I don't hear any crying. He could be going to the restroom. I don't know. But this could very well be our last minutes on this live because Archie could very well be awake at this point in time. Oh, there's more movement. Oh no. Okay. Let's get this squirrel on here. That is like really close. Okay, let's go for it. Let's go for it and hope that there's enough of this squirrel's head. Amy says she would probably make a quilt top. I know I should not be using my rotary cutter like that, but oh, that seems really short. Where's my card? Where's my card? There's my card. Okay. Our moments are limited. Still no crying, but my ideas exceed my small stash and budget. Shirley, I love how honest you are. That is nice. That is really nice. I still don't hear any crying. Oh gosh, Buddy's coming down. That scared me. Archie's like probably wondering where I am. little squirrels. We're halfway done with this one almost. A tote bag sounds really nice, and you could use it when you buy fabric. Yes. That's a great idea. Take it to the quilt shop. It'd be cute to make a fanny pack. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, what happened there? I still don't hear anything. Okay, I should probably go. I don't hear him crying, but I see Austin up with him, so. Okay, we're halfway done with the last one, and those are the squirrels that we've got. They're pretty dang cute. Thank you to everyone who hung out with me tonight. I'm gonna have to finish this last one tomorrow. I'll try and post pictures on my community page for everyone who played along and hung out. I'll try and take some pictures of these and post them on there so you can see all of the ones before I send them out in the mail. Other than that, I've got to go before he starts screaming. So I will see you guys very soon, hopefully. I'm going to try and get Heather on for Friday night for BOM. Cross your fingers, because that would be really, really great. And that's it. Bye. Thanks for your company. Thank you. All right, everyone get some sleep. Good night, Shirley. Bye, Amy. Bye, Yvonne. Bye, Teresa, if you're still lurking. Bye, Zipper. Bye, Sue. Bye, Taylor. Marie. Okay, I'm going to press the button now before he starts screaming. Wish me luck tonight. Maybe we can get some sleep.